am I that much of an a-hole that the people that I thought, I could reach out to from a business standpoint, they don't even respond
Mhm.
to me anymore? You don't walk into a department store and instantly ask for a discount. You see the price on the tag. If you can afford it, you'll buy it. If you can't afford it, you go to the next thing.
Man, I feel like the people that's supposed to be in your life gonna be there right when they need to
Yeah,
be.
change your mentality. Don't let people tell
Yeah.
you that you're too expensive. You think of them as being too cheap. Well, that's one thing I want to do. Um, and uh, I'm glad we're on the recording now, so it's gonna hold me and you accountable. I'm gonna lean in real quick so I can put my arms on the table. But starting these businesses, like I said, when we first started going, what was it, a year and a half ago? I was running one
Uh,
company, I was running my IT company. Today I got three more, so now I got four. Dude, I've been
wow.
reaching out to people left and right, looking for advice, just wanting to bounce, different scenarios off of them. And you'd be amazed at how many people never respond. And I'm thinking to myself, like, sheesh, man, am I that much of an a-hole? Because now I got to do that self evaluation. I have to ask myself, am I that much of an a-hole that the people that I thought, I could reach out to from a business standpoint, they don't even respond
Mhm.
to me anymore? I understand that I went into a hibernation status from society, especially when the lockdown happened. I severely limited my social media interaction because I wanted to get
Uh,
focused on what I was doing. Those are all distractions. I don't care about the distractions. I needed to
right.
get focused on what I was doing. So I kind of disappeared, in a great way. It was a lot
Right.
of great things, came from it. I got my production company now. I got my cryptocurrency, blockchain technology company where I'm teaching blockchain classes. I'm developing blockchain apps. I
Okay.
have, my coding program. Like so many great things have come out of that. But at the same
Hmm.
time, it's like, have I lost my what I thought was my my network of like-minded individuals? Like, did people take that personally? It's like, wait a minute, what's going on? So that's
Right.
where I say all that to say, that's why I'm glad that we're back in communication again, because we got to bring those gym sessions back, because I got to start bouncing these ideas off you, man. I got scenarios,
Okay.
I got things that I need outside advice on from people who are also in the trenches with me. You know,
Hmm.
I can't ask somebody who's never ran a business about a new business venture. I can't ask
Right.
somebody who's never done, accounting, who's never done finances, about setting up a tax structure. I can't ask random people about this stuff. I gotta ask people who are actually in the game. So that's why I say I'm glad that we're talking about this right now, because
Yeah.
if I ever you can hold me accountable. You can say, "Hey, man, pull up the video."
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So,
Um, man, I feel like the people that's supposed to be in your life gonna be there right when they need to be.
mm,
Um, you know, I've taken some things personal from a business standpoint sometimes when, okay, it's like, all right, I'm up, I'm running. All right, so and so, you said you was gonna do this, you was gonna
mm-hmm,
book this many people for my class, and stuff falls through. And then I had to understand, just I don't even take it personal. Because the more no's I get, that's one step closer to the yeses.
yeah,
The more people I get out the way,
mm,
that reserves more room for the people that are gonna encounter my life at the right time. Sometimes them people you may not want them on board with you. You may not want the the support if it comes with negativity, if it comes with always taking and not making any type of deposits. And with a lot of people, if you got something that they can benefit from,
yeah,
they'll rock with you.
yeah,
But the minute they don't really need you or whatever, it's like, all right, ain't no need for me to support you if you ain't got nothing that I want.
mm-hmm. And that's where I had to, in that evaluation period, where I was like, why is nobody? And I'm not gonna say nobody, because I had certain people that did respond to me, but why are the majority of people not responding? I had to ask myself, was I one of those people that was utilizing people for their benefit, versus being a genuine resource, a genuine contact. 'Cause I always thought that I was being a genuine contact. You know, we all have our, I want to say, I had my not so great uh, phase dealing with relationships.
Hmm.
We all go through that.
Right.
Anybody tell you they haven't gone through that, they're lying. So yeah, but from a business standpoint, from a building um genuine friendship, building genuine relationships, not from an
Mhm.
intimate standpoint, but from an actual friendship standpoint, I thought I was really, doing really good at that. So this forces me now to go back and do some more self evaluating to, hey, maybe I'm not reaching out, checking on people the way I should, and maybe some people are taking it personal. He only calls when he needs something. I've never called when I needed something. I just,
Right.
actually, I don't call anybody. I have always just been around and I've always been that smiling face. So now I'm not around anymore. But maybe some people have taken it as if, you know, I don't want to be around them. I don't know. I'm just throwing out possibilities here. But it's
Yes.
definitely forced me to do some more self-evaluating because I I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything, but I also want to be able to utilize the people that I know who knows certain things that I need to know.
Mm.
And I've always looked at myself as a resource to other people. Anybody call me up anytime, hey man, I'm looking to do this, I'm looking to do that, oh yeah, this is all you got to do. Don't charge them anything. My knowledge, for me, knowledge is always free. I'm not going to set you up to where I'm only going to give you a tidbit and then expect you to pay for the rest. Yeah, you
Yeah.
you know me, you know me.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
when we were talking about doing the website for your company, I was like,
Uh-huh.
bro, I got you. Don't even worry about it. And
Yeah.
I'm offering that. But
True. Right.
yeah, so it it forces me, and I know I've said that sound kind of repetitive right now, but it is what it is. It forces me to go back and reevaluate myself. But at the same time, I'm going to put them on a cutting block also, because maybe they were using me as a resource. And now because I'm actually um, reverse the roles and I'm calling them saying, hey, can you help me out with something? Hey, I got an investment that I want to look into. You've already done it. I want to pick your brain a little bit. And then like they don't have any time for me. I'm trying to look at it from all standpoints.
I mean, that's that's a good way to look at it. I mean, especially if you again bringing it back around full circle to the initial dilemma you mentioned. You put it back on you. All right, maybe I'm not, or what is it about me that I could maybe tweak? And in doing that, you're increasing your value.
Mm,
And I don't think you have anything of value that you don't secure, that you don't protect. You don't leave your vehicle unlocked. You know what I'm saying, leave valuables unattended to. So even with increasing your own self worth and your own value from a business relational standpoint,
mm,
you know, to increase your value, you got to protect that. So
yep.
not saying don't deal with them people, but hey, this is where I'm at, and you need to meet me at this level, or you know, hey, we'll just be
Yeah.
high and by.
One thing that's really weird, and I'm looking at it right now. I just started paying attention to, how when you see yourself in the mirror, you get a little self conscious or whatnot. So I look when I lean in, much it's like I grow a little bit versus when I'm sitting far back.
You know, wow. Hey, it might be the way you got the camera angle. You're
I'm
right.
pretty
You're
sure.
right.
I'm pretty sure because I've done a couple of other recordings, a couple of other episodes, and me and my girlfriend we were looking at them, and it looks like, in compared to the person who's in the next to me, I
Uh,
look this big. They look this big.
yeah. Wow.
And it's all because of, I'm sitting back, I'm not close up to
Yeah.
the camera. When you look at it, you never know I was 6'2". You never know I was 6'2", just looking at me on the camera. And it was like,
Hey,
man, this
look,
guy's
I
like,
look pretty tall right now, huh? Don't I?
yeah, right. You
You never
looking,
know I'm about
I say you're
5 feet,
looking like you're
5'5".
dwarfing me.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
let me ask you this,
What's
because
up?
it's a lot of people that don't know what it is to start a business,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even from just the practical standpoint, the steps you take, registering, incorporating yourself, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Um, how did you come to develop separate businesses and so quickly? And how are you able to, maintain those businesses? Is it because they're related to one another? Or, how are you running three businesses right now at the same time?
Well, that's a great question. And I touched my nose because I got to think about that for a second. But that's a great question. It was a I found a niche. Of course, like I said, I'm in IT. I'm a computer engineer. Been a computer engineer for going on 16 years. So I'm great at what I do, and I found a need in the area of blockchain because it's something that's new. The cryptocurrency, Bitcoin.
Hmm.
I'll say the word Bitcoin. Most people know it as Bitcoin, but
Hmm.
it 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 segues right over into what I already know how to do. So it's the
Okay.
learning curve is not hard in that regard. So once I got into cryptocurrency and started learning more and more about it, I was like, hey, I can turn this into an opportunity. I can turn this into a revenue stream.
Hmm.
So I created a class that teaches people how to get started in the cryptocurrency space. Gives them a lot of good pointers. And from there, I was like, okay, so registered that as an LLC. Went ahead and made that a profitable business. And then from there, I looked at the lockdown situation where people are forced to stay in the house
Okay.
and everything went remote. The influx of podcasts, the influx of YouTube channels, the influx of everything becoming an online, and everything was kind of shifting online, but it expedited the process. So
Right.
I said, okay. I started talking to people, started asking a few questions, and I noticed that there are a lot of people who do podcasting, a lot of people who do the online content is a major investment. It takes a lot of money to produce to buy the equipment because you're not just going
Hmm.
to get a webcam and a microphone and just run at it. You can, but good luck. Um,
Right.
so I saw an opportunity, and this is where the production company came from, the MJI Studios,
Okay.
because I went ahead and made the $15,000 investment into the equipment, built a studio, and basically did what Amazon does, did what Facebook does, did what Uber does. I built a
Hmm.
platform that people can utilize for their own services.
Okay.
When you make the investment, um, people aren't gonna, especially during the lockdown situation. Money is really tight for a lot of people, so
Hmm.
they want to produce online content because it's a revenue stream, but they don't have the resources to do it. Okay, I have
Okay.
the resources to do it. And that's where the production company idea came from. I reached out to a lot of people wanting to ask questions about that because that's not my field. But
Hmm.
what I found out was that it actually the learning curve wasn't hard because I'm already technical. I already know how to build systems. Every system that I use, I build. I don't
Okay.
pay people for things I know how to do. So all I had to learn how to do was edit. All I had to learn how to do was edit. And once I learned how to do editing, oh man, the sky was the limit. I started reaching out to certain people that was like, oh my God, you just solved my problem because they didn't know the technical side of it. They didn't know how to build the system. They didn't know, how to do all the back end things that were needed in order to produce online content. They thought you just
Hmm.
turn on the camera and hit record. But when they finally got into it and you realize, you got to buy microphones, you got to buy, mixers, you got to buy switchers, you got to buy, you know, um, a lot of cameras, high end cameras. You don't want, low end cameras. There's a lot of things that involved around it. And you got to put that on a system to make all these things work together. And
Hmm.
at that point, they shut it down, you know. So once I put the word out there that, hey, I did all of that. And all you have to do is pay me a very affordable rate and I'll
Hmm.
produce your content. And now you got everything that you wanted. Boom. It's taken off.
So
So
do they give you like just a raw, unedited video, and you do your thing, and like
Well,
produce the final product?
actually, no. I build the entire platform, and when I build a platform, I build the overlays, I build everything for them, and I have it so that they can either come into the studio and we'll record live, and then I'll edit it up
Mhm.
for them, or kind of like what you where you are, like what you're doing right now. You're at your house. I send you a link. You log into your link. Your link shows up on my the platform that I built, and you're literally doing everything from your house. But the final product is a full fledged production. You know, you can have guests on. Say if you're doing a show similar to what we're doing right now, and you're
Mhm.
interviewing guests and things like that. Um, what you see is two chat windows. What the end
Mhm.
product is, what they see, full fledged production. You know, the lower thirds, you got your name, you got the guest name, you got the title of your show. You know, it's switching scenes. You know, there's a lot of
Wow.
things that are happening in the background, and all you had to do is click on a link and log in. So that's what That's what made it so much of a I guess a problem solver. Yeah, that's what made it such a solution. That's what made it hit because they
Yeah.
didn't have to do all that backing and stuff.
That is fun, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and then
That's
from
crazy.
there, hold on, let me tell you about the next one.
Okay.
So that's number where we at? We're number three. So then I wanted to set up a structure, and I wanted to ask more questions. I reached out to a few people, but
Uh,
I needed to set up a structure like a holding company that was going to be the primary managing company of all the other companies.
mhm.
So from there, I built the MJI group. And the
Okay.
MJI group owns the other companies. I own the MJI group. The MJI group owns the other companies. So all the revenue from the other companies flows up to the MJI group. And then from there, it's distributed.
You're giving some jewels right now to people that have no idea, man. Even the tax implications. A
Oh,
lot of this
man.
is going over people's heads, man. A
Oh,
holding
man.
company.
Yeah,
From
from a tax
that's
standpoint,
smart.
I mean, I actually did, thank God she was able to come on my show to
Mhm.
drop those jewels. But I have a tax expert, Lysandra Everett. She's known as the home biz tax lady. And she helped me with all the structuring from a tax
Mhm.
perspective. So she's whenever I have a text question or anything like that, I'll shoot her a quick email, shoot her a quick text
Yeah.
message, and she immediately responds. But that's where what I talked about before, and I'm gonna sit back now because I'm good now.
Okay.
But that's where um, building that team of people
uh,
is very, very important because a lot of people think when you say you're building a team that you're building a team of employees. That's not how that works. That's not how that
mm,
works at all. I'm not. I don't
okay.
build a team of employees. I build a team of like-minded individuals who are on the exact same level as me, who own their business and they're
Okay.
great at what they do in their respective area that I can utilize as a resource. So I
Mhm.
have my tax professional. She doesn't work for me. Whenever I need something done, I call her up. Hey, what's your fee? Let me know. Let's get it done. Legal. We have a legal ex. You're building that team of people who are smarter than you at what they do, and they're willingly sharing that knowledge with you. And you also utilize their service for your needs. So
Right.
you know how they say circulate the dollar within
Mhm.
your community or whatever. That's how we
Mhm.
do it. So
You
um,
know, you said something just there, man. I don't mean to interrupt,
oh,
but
you good, bro?
you know, dang, I just lost my train of thought that quick.
Circulate the dollars. I got you, bro. I got
Right.
you.
Before the dollar circulating.
About the
Um,
building a team of like-minded people.
right. No, you said something about, how you doing? This what you got? What's your fee? You know what I'm
Oh
saying? How
yeah,
much
yeah,
I need to
yeah,
pay you for your
yeah.
service? Man, to keep that dollar circulating in our community, bro, we got to get more comfortable with paying these fees. We got to get more comfortable with not trying to devalue that dollar within our community. And like even you talked to me, and even when we had our conversation about your consultation, your consulting, excuse me. You know, you gave me a rate that most people shut it down. As soon as you say that rate, and that was a ridiculous discount. You know what I'm saying? We don't. we don't appreciate the value that somebody builds, the equity that they build in their business
Mm-hmm.
to keep that dollar circulating within our community.
Yeah.
We trying to chop it up three different ways before we even give it to somebody.
Right. Well,
So that's important that you give that same, you know what I'm saying, that same energy that you hope to get in return with your
oh,
business.
most definitely. See, the thing about it is people don't understand is that we're in business to be in business. We're not in business to find a discount. If the quality of work is what I'm paying for it to be, it's going to make me even more money in the long run anyway, or it's going to
Mm-hmm.
save me a ton of money. On a tax perspective, that's going to save me because if you get in trouble with the IRS, they're going to come after you hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or from a technical standpoint, if your website is pretty, but it's not effective, it's not producing anything, the functionality is trash. You just
Right.
paid for nothing. It's not actually doing anything for you other than it looks pretty, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and people don't understand that. People want a discount. They want a discount. Well, and I ask people the question, when you tell them what your fee is, and then, obviously they can't afford it, certain people. But I ask them a question: is your business discounted? You know, so you want me to discount the service that I'm going to
My
provide for
business.
you for your business, which means that you're discounting your business. You don't believe in your
Right.
business. You're not willing to invest what needs to be done. Of course, you got to do your vetting and everything, but when you're talking about high quality people that are producing high quality work, you should be willing to pay for that because what they're producing is going to make you 10 times more than what you paid for it.
Right.
Yeah, if you do what you're supposed to do. Most people don't do what they're supposed to do. They think that you're gonna, and I'm gonna speak from a website perspective. They think that as soon as you build them a website, they're instantly gonna become millionaires. They don't
Right.
understand about marketing. They don't understand about, the fact that you still have to do the work. Just because you got a website out there doesn't mean people know about it.
Right.
Yeah, you can have
Right.
the best product on the planet. If nobody knows about it, it's a waste of time.
Yep.
So that's where um, I value people quality of work. Either I can afford it or I can't. I'm not asking you, oh man, can you knock down, 20%? I'm never going to ask you that. Either I can afford
Yeah.
it or I can't afford it. If I can't afford it, I'll get at you when I can't afford it. You know,
Right.
I had an experience with a friend of mine from back when I was in college, and he started a clothing line, and I wanted to utilize him because, of course, why would I not? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I'm going to support you. This is my way of supporting you. And I said, hey, man, I'll let you do all of my employee uniforms and everything. Like, give me the whole layout.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how much it costs. He sent me a price. It was on the high end. Hey, no problem, man. Because I value the quality of your work. Plus, I want to make sure that you're going to be successful. Now, on the reverse end of that, he wanted me to develop a couple of websites for him. And, I sent him my quote, and my quote was a low end quote compared to the other quotes I've done for the same type of situation. And
Mm-hmm.
instantly, the first words out of his mouth, man, you think you can discount that a little bit for me? And I'm looking like, dude, I didn't say anything, but the when you, and I guess this is another thing about bragging. When you brag about, you just signed this contract, you're pulling in this much money, this, that, and the third, but you're instantly asking for a discount, we have an
Yeah.
issue. Now,
Yeah.
the second reason why we have an issue is because, you know, why are you asking for a discount? You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you can't afford it, that's one thing. I don't care about that. But another thing is, just because I look like you, and just because we have a rapport, just because we have a relationship established, doesn't mean that all of a sudden I became cheap.
Right.
You know, we have costs, we have staff that we have to pay. We're in business to be in business. Now, truth be told, that money is only going to circulate right back to you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just changing hands during the time it's changing hands. It's not like it's coming to my hand and it's never going to move it again. I've already agreed to do business with you from a clothing standpoint. from an
Hmm.
apparel standpoint. So I don't, but that's just that goes into that whole what you were talking about. That's why I gave that story. Excuse me. It goes into what we were talking about in regards to valuing um, people's work, valuing their price.
Hmm.
And it sounds really cliche, and I hate to use cliches, but whatever. Some cliches are true. But you don't walk into a department store and instantly ask for a discount. You see the price on the tag. If you can afford it, you'll buy it. If you can't afford it, you go to the next thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I strongly support that statement. You know,
Yeah.
and I tell it was a good buddy of mine here. He he does photography, and he's doing graphic design, and he's also just started his own T-shirt line. And he was telling me, he was like, man, people are telling me my prices are too high. I said, your prices aren't too high; they just can't afford them. I said, there's a big difference. That change your mentality. Don't let people tell
Yeah.
you that you're too expensive. You think of them as being too cheap. So what that means is you need to
Right.
change your target audience. You need to stop going after people that think you cost too much, and go after people who think that you don't cost enough.
That's
Once
why
you get that mindset, because those people are out there, they do exist. Now, granted,
they do.
they're going to require you to step your game up. You're going to have to produce quality for that type of payment range, but that's only going to make you better.
But that
So
goes back to what you said
mm-hmm,
initially, investing that money in yourself, seeing the value in your company,
mm-hmm,
making sure that you have quality products that you're producing. And a lot of times, in order to do that, you have to acquire quality tools and assets. And it's like, we may not want to invest the 15,000 that's necessary for us to create the studio and the process and the quality of work. And it's like, man, we got to get out of that mindset. Like you said, I'm gonna spend this cash because I know it's gonna earn me, tenfold what I initially invested.
yeah, man. And when you think about that, those are small numbers. You got guys that are paying 15,000 for one camera.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I spent that on an entire studio for now, the entire production equipment. But I have a vision and I know where I'm going. But you deal with people and all they see is a dollar. All they see is a dollar. They're not investing in their vision. They're letting the financial side blind them from what they're letting them choke their vision out. And
hmm,
it should never be like that. The one thing that who said it? I don't know who said it. I want to quote the correct person who said it, but I think it was Eric Thomas. I was watching one of his videos. I used to watch Eric Thomas a lot.
that,
He's
that's my
awesome,
guy.
the hip hop pastor, but
Yeah,
or ET. But
yeah,
he said, "Don't worry about money. Money will always come. If you're passionate about what you do, you'll find a way. You'll find a way to make it. You'll find a way to get those finances. Just go do it. And
yeah,
then if all you focus on is how much it costs, you'll never get there. You'll
yep,
never get there. But if you're saying, okay, you see that as an opportunity, you say, okay, it costs this much. I don't have this much right now. How can I get this much? What do I need to do to get this much so that I can acquire what it is I need? Now you see an opportunity. Now you're coming up with a solution. You don't
hmm,
see it. You don't see an obstacle that you can't get around because now you're becoming solution oriented. Now you're thinking of ways to make things happen. Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about that too. That's one
yep.
of my. I follow him really big with for finance stuff. But um,
But like you
he's
said, it's vision though.
hmm
It's your vision, and
yeah.
we have to change our goggles. We got to change our lenses because if we utilize the right lenses, we'll start discovering those solutions to those problems.
hmm
For example, you know, we can talk about, not having money, not having this, man, almost every like I get inspired when I see immigrants come over here and start businesses. When I see people with
hmm
absolutely none of the advantages that I do have, we can talk about all the disadvantages. But there's a lot of advantages that I have that I don't even know about because I don't tap into the knowledge that's there. Even
Right.
when it comes to businesses,
Right.
the number one reason that businesses fail is lack of capital. We think that we have to use our own money when if you change your goggles, you'll see that a lot of these Fortune 500 companies were not created with the money of those investors.
Right. Right.
You know, they learn how to utilize other people's money,
Yeah.
how to build business
Mm-hmm.
no money, credit to create the source, the revenue stream that they want to create.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta continue to be the example. I'm glad I see you doing the stuff that you're doing, man. It's motivational for me. That's why I asked you about your businesses,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I see it when I change my goggles, you know.
Yeah.
And if we
Yeah.
start to post some people, we got some phenomenal business people in our community, man.
Amazing business people, dude. They got
I
amazing
see it.
minds. Yeah.
My I have a sibling that works for, it's an app. It's like a Eat Fresh app or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those apps that has freshly prepared meals, nothing frozen, all ingredients fresh and all of that. And it was
Okay.
started by
Okay.
a, a tech gentleman, a brother
Yeah.
here in Tampa. And I'm talking about this dude got a multi-million-dollar buzz right now
Nice.
with a quality product. It's like, man, these people they're here. They're
Nice.
all around us. We don't need to go to Silicon Valley, you know what I'm saying, to tap into resources like that. We
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
got them here, man.
90% true. The thing about it is that we've become compartmentalized. We've become siloed into thinking that we aren't out there.
Mhm.
You know, they make us think that we're just sprinkled out. You know that you are alienated, that you are alone in what it is you're trying to do. You know, and again, that's not on accident. That's all by design, because it stops you from unifying. You know, it forces you to have to rely
Right.
on them in order
Right.
to, you know, seemingly get to where you want to be. But we are definitely out there. And again, this is why I stress the importance of these conversations. You know,
Mhm.
just talking. Look at where we've morphed over to. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know,
Yeah. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But again, this is for all of those who are watching who don't understand. This is how men vent. this is
Right,
how
right.
this is how we share what we're dealing with. This is how we share our thoughts. We're not thinking about why this person doesn't like us. We don't care about that. We're not thinking about other people's drama. We don't care about that. At least not the level of men that I'm talking about, that we're on, that we're dealing with here. We're constantly thinking about, how can I get my family to the next step? How can I move up from where I am right now? Yes, I'm in a really good position, but I would never be complacent. I look at the next person as motivation.
Yeah.
And it's not a matter. I don't judge success based on how much money you got. That's not success. Success to me is, how do you have you achieved your goals? Are you achieving your goals? That's
Mhm.
success. When you
Right.
set this goal, did you achieve it? Awesome. And once you achieve it, I automatically know you have a new goal. You don't even have to tell me. I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so you got this. I remember when you were studying for your certification, so you can start providing those classes. I
Mhm.
knew that was only one step in your ultimate goal. That was only a small. That was a, what do you call, a short term goal. Getting you to
Absolutely
your
right.
ultimate goal, which your ultimate goal is also just another step to get to that, to a even greater goal. So that's one thing. Another and very important thing about having the right people around you, having the right people in your circle, because of the
Mhm.
fact that they'll never be complacent. You know,
Right.
you can have $1 billion in the bank. Most billionaires, they're not just sitting around doing nothing. They can't. It's impossible.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know. Yeah, and one of my favorite, my motto, I need to trademark it. I got to coin this. Is I always say, you can't get to a billion without one. And as long as you remember that, as long as you keep that one plus one plus one plus one plus one plus one, eventually you'll get to the billion. And even after you
Mhm.
get to a billion, well, I can't get to 100 billion without one.
Yeah.
you know, that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you driven.
And
And I
isn't
can't.
it just like, isn't it amazing when, instead of even focusing on the building. You set the goal, you put that goal out there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's those little victories.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Them little small victories.
Yep.
And then before you know it, you look back because you're not even focused. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You know what the goal is, but you
Right.
focused on the next. Let me
Right.
knock off the next goal. That's where I'm getting at, man. The satisfaction and goals. I said I wanted to start juicing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I got the juicer. All right, I figured out, my little recipes. And now it's just like every morning that I do it, instead of making it this long term thing, okay, I'm gonna juice tomorrow. When I get up and I juice, I feel all right, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like I did that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
little goals, man. I'm trying to focus on knocking out all my little goals, but you gotta start with it with a plan. And
Yeah.
then you gotta write the plan down.
Yep. Yeah. Without a roadmap, how you know where you're going?
Yeah.
You know, at that point, you're just aimlessly wandering around. You know, and that's the part of the process. You know, it's you have an idea, great. Now, what are you doing with that idea? You know,
Mm-hmm.
did you? Because once you, if the idea only lives in your head, it'll always change. It'll never be the same. That's why, like you said, you have to write it down. You know, you have to
Yep.
write the ultimate goal down, and then you break it down into the steps.
The
And then
small ones.
when you look back, when you're climbing those steps, and you look back and you realize, holy crap, I've done a lot of steps. You know, but then you look up and you're like, yep, don't get complacent. Don't pat
Yep.
yourself on the back for
Oh,
too
yeah.
long because you still got a lot more steps to go. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So that's one thing I love about us. You know, you will never sit still. It's
Can't be
impossible. We
steady.
can't. We can't.
Dying.
Yeah, yeah. Hell, and even back when I had my accident and I'm in the hospital, lay down, quadriplegic or whatever, can't move. I'm thinking of what I'm gonna do when I get out of there. You know, not from a physical standpoint, but what mentally, what type of business can I do now? Okay, you know, I'm seemingly paralyzed. I can't move my arms, my legs. I have no control of my fingers. What can I do so that I'm not a burden financially on my family? I'm already strategizing. Thankfully, um, with therapy and everything, I was able to recover for the most part. But I was strategizing, bro. Like I'm not sitting still, and it just I say that to show the level of we'll never stop. We can't stop. When I say it's impossible, it's impossible. That's one of the things that when you have as we talk about when you have a good man, and I'm gonna put emphasis on the word good because good is relative. So understand that good is whatever you consider to be good. But in our circle, a good man is a man who is constantly motivated, a man who is constantly looking at a way to increase the quality of life for his family, for his situation, a man who just refuses to stop. It can't get stagnant. You'll give yourself the kudos, you'll give yourself a pat on the back, but that's only two pats, and after that, all right, what's next?
Back to
You know,
work.
yeah, yeah, what's next? So
Yeah.
that's the type of circle that we have, and that's the type of people that we gravitate to. You can't help it. That's the energy
Yeah.
you put out. That's the energy you attract. You're gonna have people that are gonna want to be a part of that energy, but they're not gonna be able to sustain it. So they'll phase
Right.
themselves out. You know. So anyway, man, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I appreciate you asking that question, man. That was a great ass question. I gave a 30-minute long answer, but that was a hell of a question.
Hey, somebody look. Somebody needed that answer, man.
Yeah,
Somebody needed
most
that answer.
definitely.
Let me ask you this: with the with your production, uh, what's the formal name for it for the business
It's
again?
it's MJI Studios.
MJI Studios.
Yeah,
Okay.
MJI Studios. Yeah, it's a LLC registered here in Florida. Um,
Hmm.
I'm currently. Here's the funny thing, and this is goes to show that you can do anything with the resources you got, making the best out of what you got, preparing. Prepare for what's ahead, but make the best out of what you got. Right now, I'm running the studio. I converted the backlit. I got the two living rooms in the house and whatnot. I just converted the
Okay.
second living room into a studio. Yeah,
Okay.
built a faux floor. We put plastic down on top of the carpet, put some wood on top of the plastic, and then put the flooring on top of the wood, so that it creates a platform. Like we got a full platform, like a stage area, whatnot.
Okay.
Got all the lighting, got a full 10 foot by 12-foot green screen, so I can do the chroma keying and stuff like that. Like, built a complete command center, the whole multiple monitor setup is all around
Yeah.
and got all the cameras and the microphones and, got the, like I said, got the
Yeah.
mixer, like really built into it. And I tell my girlfriend that I'm accumulating the things that I need while I'm continuing to search for that actual building. So I'm looking for the building that's going to be perfect. Like what I'm gonna do is I want a building that has an admin area with the offices and things like that because that's going to be the headquarters for all the businesses. That's going to be
Okay.
the MJI Group's headquarters. That's where we're going to run everything. But in addition to that, we're going to have the main room, which is going to be Studio A, for recording big things, large events. Then we're going to have, I want to have a couple of podcasts, sound booths for recording podcasts, recording voiceovers, things like that. And then I want to have a green screen room. So I have a vision of where we're going to go with this. So it's
Okay.
doing, yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting there.
Man, I can't wait to see it grow. I know it's definitely gonna come to fruition. Cause you definitely be determined, man, when you put your
Yeah,
hands to something. So that's
yeah, no
awesome,
doubt.
man.
No doubt. That's one thing people say. I found this out through someone who wanted to do a web series, but they
Hmm.
went and did some background on me. They started asking questions about me. They said
Okay.
everybody that they asked about me said, "Well, when Mario says he's gonna do something, you best believe he's gonna do it." From a business standpoint, it's
Right.
like, yeah, if he says he's gonna do it, and you can see the determination on his face, he gonna do it. That's like, so if he presented you with the opportunity to work with him, on the production side where he'll do your web series or whatnot, you better take it because
Yeah.
once it goes away, it's gone. Yeah, yeah.
Man, that says a lot about your character. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
appreciated that. Like to hear that feedback, I was like, man, that's good. That's really good because I wasn't expecting it. I can tell you that. And it's not that I think lower of myself, but some people they're not going to give you that feed. They're not going to give you that type of reference just
mhm,
because.
right.
Unfortunately, you have some people that don't want to see you in a better position than they are. So, and I try to avoid those people, but they do exist. So it's good to
Yeah.
know that I have certain, depending on who you ask, and you say my name, they may give different types of adjectives. Depending on who you ask. But it's
Yeah.
good to know that, in doing a business background check, people say I'm very reliable, very stable. And, we
Yeah.
will get it done. So that was a vote of confidence for me. I said, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I look at a lot of different YouTube channels. JT Hustle is one that
Mm-hmm.
I look at a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Where they just promote different entrepreneurial ideas and endeavors.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you'll see in the comments, people that have worked with these individuals, they gonna vet you or they gonna trash you. They're gonna talk about your reputation if this person's reputable,
Yeah.
if his business is reputable, if the
Mm-hmm.
product is good. If it ain't, they're gonna slam you. So it's good to already have that type of, reputation
Yeah.
with your business
Yeah.
acumen.
Yeah. Man. And the funny thing about it is, and this is why I love the way that I structure this platform, is that it's not me asking you questions. We're talking. You know what I'm saying? And like you done
Yeah.
reverse the whole thing on me. It's like, hey
I
man,
know
give me
it's
some of
yeah,
your knowledge. Yeah. I love that.
Jesus past notes, man.
Yeah, I love
That's what's
that.
up.
Again, that's why I always tell people, we just gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
We just gonna talk.
Yeah.
And that's why I build rapport, I build relationships. So when it's time to talk, we can actually talk, and it's truly organic. Some
Mhm.
people I've asked to come on the show, and I have them scheduled to come on. They're like, okay, so what questions are you going to ask so I can be ready for the interview? Because aha, that's where you're mistaken, my friend. My friend, this is not an interview, my friend. We're just going to have a conversation. I'm going to talk to you. You're going to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. That keeps it organic.
Yeah.
That keeps it organic.
It for me that's more interesting to me. You know,
Hmm.
I like to watch. You know, I watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I like the video. I like to watch the videos where you can tell they know each other. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You can tell that they already have a pre-built relationship and they're just flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Versus
Either
question and answer format.
yeah, yeah, they just flowing, man. Cause and you can tell when you have those people where it's just a question answer session. You
Yeah.
know, depending upon what the topic is, some of them are good. But for me, it keeps my interest when I see people actually having a really good conversation because they're just bouncing ideas off each other. You know,
Yeah.
one of the guys I really enjoy watching is Raul Paul. Raul Powell. He's a finance guy. He used to work for Goldman Sachs, and he created a channel called Real Vision Finance. And
Okay.
I watch him all the time because the people that he talked to, he actually knows. And then, like,
Okay.
he's just sitting there, you know, he's all back in his, his very expensive chair, and he's just sitting back, real comfortable. And the people that he talked to, they're just having conversations. That's kind of how I got the
Yeah.
idea for how I wanted to structure my podcast. Is that it keeps me interested. His stuff is an hour, hour and a half. Some of them are hour, 2 hours long, but it keeps me there because they're laughing, they're joking. They're talking finance, they're giving you these gems, but
Hmm.
it's so organic that it keeps me glued in. Like I'm learning, but I don't even know I'm learning. Kind of like when you're working out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, no, no. I don't want to say when you're working out. Let me rephrase that. When you're working out, you know you're working out. It's it's kind of like when you're bike riding. You know, you're riding the bike and you're enjoying it. You're having a good time. You don't realize that you're working out your legs. You don't realize you're actually exercising. You don't realize how good this is for you because of the fact that you're enjoying the moment. I relate that the same way. I relate that the exact same way. Yeah.
Yeah. There are certain individuals that I can also listen to like that. Some
Mm-hmm.
people I can't. And back during my truck driving days, that was one of my things. I throw a
Mm-hmm.
YouTube video on, and if it's someone like that that I can, you know, just be engaged
Yeah.
from a listening perspective, man, I could sit and listen to people drop gems all day. So
All
yeah, that's
day.
and you retain so much more than you would probably, understand
Mm-hmm.
in that moment. Like
Yeah.
I can regurgitate certain things mentally, certain videos I be talking about, establishing business credit, and I be
Mm-hmm.
having this wealth of knowledge sometimes that I didn't even realize I amassed just by watching,
Right,
these things.
right. Just the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It sticks, subconsciously. The subconscious is a very strong thing. And when I liken it to feeding food into your body. You
Hmm.
control what you feed it, what you put into your body, same way you control what you would put into your mind. So if you're only putting information, useful knowledge into your mind, at some point the subconscious starts regurgitating that. It just becomes automatic. It just becomes automatic. And unfortunately, and here we go. I'm gonna get on the soapbox for 2 minutes. I promise, 2 minutes. I'm gonna get on the soapbox. Unfortunately, a lot of us, we the information that we're feeding our mind is useless, absolutely useless. And um, I I always wonder if my girlfriend thinks I'm crazy or just extremely weird or a super nerd because
Hmm.
I I'm very selective on what I allow my mind to ingest. You know, I don't watch drama. I don't I rarely listen to music because of the message that's in the music. It's not positive.
Uh,
It's not something that's gonna, it's not I can't use that. What good is me knowing how to kill a nigga? I don't want to kill a nigga. I actually don't even want to call you a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's useless to me. So I've strayed away from even listening to the music. And when we do watch TV, it's not it's not broadcast television. It's YouTube videos. I'm gaining knowledge, looking at the people that I admire and the people that I know is going to give me very useful information. When we go
Hmm.
to Netflix, we'll generally every now and again we'll look at a little comedy or something like that. But I'm a stickler for documentaries. Again,
Yeah.
very much in control of what I ingest. Because that too, and I'll say this again. I know I said 2 minutes on my soapbox. I got 30 seconds left, but that too um, plays into how you react in situations.
Yeah.
People don't understand that if all you, a lot of people don't understand. I'm not gonna say everybody doesn't understand, but a lot of people don't understand that if all you feed into your mind is drama, ratchetness, the negative type of information, they can't seem to understand why their reactions, they always got to pop off. They don't have any self-control. They don't seem to, they can't correlate the two. It's like, well, look at what you're training yourself to do. Because in
Right.
theory, you're training your subconscious because that's what you're feeding into it. So
Yeah.
if you
I'm gonna tell you
feed,
one that. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
you good, you good, you good. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna tell you one that really that gets me. You know, when I hear women communicate with each other, and you know, I don't even talk to my homeboys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in that man. Hey, what up, F nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
so
right,
why?
right.
Like it hurts, bro. It hurt me sometimes when I listen to it because it's so normal now. Be this and be that, and you know what I'm saying. That's just it's. We've even gotten it to the point where it's desensitized amongst them calling, them speaking to each other. I ain't even
Yeah,
gonna say just calling yourself the B,
yeah,
but acting that way, like demeaning yourself is cool now.
right,
Amongst
right.
women. That
It's a
hurt
what they call it? Not a badge of honor, but it's a term of endearment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Like
term
I
of endearment.
honestly, and I ain't talking down about no, what I'm saying, lovely lady that's watching this, but I've never desired a type of female like that.
At all.
Like never.
Yeah,
It's just like,
and the funny part about that is, man. Yeah, damn. Well, I said that soapbox was gonna go away, but you keep bringing up good topics, man. But the funny part about that is they'll defend it. You know, you're defending the negativity against you, and they'll try to relate it to context.
yeah,
Well, it's the way in which you say it. Well, no, that's not true because the definition is a definition. You can't redefine a word just because you decided to use it differently. You
yeah.
know,
I mean, I
um,
kind of feel that way about how we use,
yeah,
the N word as
yeah,
a term of
yeah.
endearment,
It's
even the
not.
psychological attachment that it has
Yeah,
in my brain at times.
yeah,
So I guess it's a double standard, but yeah, I hate it when they,
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we know the true meaning of it. Subconsciously, you know the true meaning of it. Subconsciously, you know it's not a term of endearment. So when you hear it, it triggers something in you. You know what I'm saying? Now, just because a particular person said it, you know, it still doesn't matter. It still triggers something inside of you subconsciously, which
yeah,
forces you to react. You're either gonna react, you know what I'm saying, with that mess, or you're gonna react in a negative way. Bottom line is it garners a reaction out of you.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
I know quite a few women who challenge that when somebody addresses them that way,
hmm
and I love to see that, but they're looked at as if they crazy because they say, hey, I know you may not mean nothing by it, but don't address me as,
yeah,
X, Y, Z,
yeah,
and people really like turn their nose up at them, like, oh, you think you too? Like, dang, like, no, I'm just telling you, I don't refer to myself that way, and I don't answer to that, so don't call me that.
mm,
But yeah, I don't even know how I ventured off on that
because man,
subject.
that's what we do. We segue. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're man venting right now. This is man brain vomit.
Yeah. We talk about the ladies doing that, but we do it too.
Oh God, that's what I said. Everyone does it. It's just the manner in which it's done, and the information that's being spewed out when it's being done is
Yeah.
is a little bit different. Like a lot of people say, when and, again, I always have to give my little asterisk. Read the fine
Mhm.
print. This is not for everyone. Of course, we know that there are some people who don't do this, but when a lot of women vent, they want to vent about. the day they had at work. They wouldn't have been about the fact that old girl over in, this other department, was acting stank or looked at her a certain way or something like that. You know, we don't vent like that for the most part.
Right.
Yeah, and if we do want to talk about, bro, you won't believe what this dude did. That's gonna last for about a minute, 2 minutes, and then we either say you acting like bro, you acting real weird right now, like yeah, like you're like a little punk right now. Like, are you good? You good? Yeah, you good? You sure? You sure you good right
Right.
now? Do I need to call your mama? You know what I'm saying? You need a hug?
Yeah.
And then from there, you moved on. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, bro.
Um,
Um, I gotta let you go, man. You supposed to be coming over here.
I know. I know. That's what I was just looking at. I'm like looking at the time frame.
Yeah, yeah. Like we've
Gonna
been on
see
this
that we
thing, what
close about
an hour and
straight. So
54 minutes, man. Wow.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to break this out into like three separate videos.
How long are the videos normally?
Generally about an hour, a little less than an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But when you got a lot to say, it is what it is.
Hey, be like that. Be like
Yeah,
that.
like I'm gonna release the whole thing, but I'm also gonna chop it up because we had one that was talking about, um, the mental side of things, and then we broke over to the business side of things. So I'm gonna chop it up a little bit. It's gonna be cool. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, man.
Dude, I appreciate you so much for coming on. I appreciate you for doing the podcast, man. Gems as always. I knew it was gonna be great. That's why I was like, I ain't gonna even tell you why you coming on. I'm just gonna have you come on. We just gonna talk. So again, can't say thank you enough, man. As always, I love you like a brother. That won't ever change. And actually, let me just shut the hell up so you can go and come over here.
Man, appreciate you having me, man. It's definitely been an honor. I appreciate you even, requesting for me to get on and even speak on your podcast, man. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate your leadership based off your lifestyle that you live, man. That speaks
Mm,
louder than, anything that you ever say out your mouth. So it's a pleasure to be linked with you, bro, and I look forward to seeing you do great things with your podcast, man.
no doubt, man. Hey, the way things are looking, man, you're gonna be a part of it. So it is what it is.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining in, for listening in. I know we went way over than the normal time, but hey, knowledge has no limitation. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and can't wait to see you on the next video. We out.
All right, deuces.